Hey friends, it's Teresa here. Welcome back to my channel with a lovely process video for you for the Traci Reed Designs creative team. I created this layout a few weeks ago for the Flower Child release and the Flower Child Instagram hop. And so I thought I would show you what the process looked like for creating this lovely layout. And so the first thing I did was print out the background pattern paper. This is one of the plaids in this collection. I loved it for the subtlety of the plaid and the colorful presentation here. All of the colors of the collection are included on this pattern paper, and it makes for a nice neutral backdrop. Now, I have a sort of new toy that I've been showing a little bit in my process videos lately, and it's these little squeeze paints from scrapbook.com. They're called Pop of Color, and what I'm doing here is pulling in a stencil from Felicity Jane from way back. They're just little tiny hearts, and I'm placing the stencil strategically here at what I'm calling the beginning of the layout and the end of the layout. And you'll see what I mean as we go through the process. And when you saw the layout to begin with, there is a photo that goes on the lower left-hand corner where I added one of the painted heart clusters, and then a word art journal card that goes at the upper right hand corner. And so I'm going to let those dry a little bit. Now this particular element here is taken from another pattern paper in the Flower Child collection, and I loved the idea of this traveling rainbow. It sort of made me think not just of a rainbow but also of a walking path, and how there's a journey in life. We're always on a journey. And so I'm going with that sort of feeling in mind. I lifted the rainbow out of the background and printed just that. I also added the photo and the word art at the top right. That is a journal card in the Flower Child collection, and went ahead and added those to the rainbow. And then I also did a text on a path to create the space for my journaling, and it walks you along this path from the photo to the word art. And so once I have all that adhered down, I'm going to just add very simple embellishment clusters, pretty much the same thing I do over and over and over again on my layouts. I started with the main title, which is Shine On Sunshine. The photo here is from Nick's first day of 4th grade and River's first day of 1st grade. And so they're just so excited, and the sun was shining that day. It was a very bright, happy day for them to get back to school. And so that's just the vibe that I'm carrying throughout the layout, is bright and colorful and happy. So any element that I printed out that fits that bill, and by the way, it's all of them in the Flower Child collection, you cannot go wrong choosing the elements here from this collection. Some of what I've printed are the stickers, and then some of them are the different elements from the digital kit itself. So the embellishment clusters, besides the title, they both rely on the pink or the coral and blue butterflies to ground them, and then everything sort of grows out of the butterflies, as if the butterfly just landed. I wanted it to feel like the butterflies just landed in a pile of flowers and they just went everywhere. They just scattered. flowers, hearts, they just kind of cascade around both of those embellishment clusters. And so the next thing I want to do is, what I feel has happened is that the layout sort of falls off the page. And I feel like it needs a little colorful border around it. So you saw me go through the blue cardstocks that I had, and I ended up choosing this coral cardstock. Now there are, of course, solid cardstock colors in the digital collection, and I was running out of time to go and print one of those cardstock colors. But that's okay. You can do that either way. You can use your own cardstock colors on your hybrid layouts. Whatever the thing is that saves you time and also is good for the environment, right? Using what you have is totally okay here. And so what I'm going to do is heavily distress the edges of this layout. And actually, this fits perfect with the Flower Child collection and the distress that already is incorporated into this collection. That background plaid is already sort of time-worn and has that gentle distressed look. And so doing this on these edges was absolutely the right decision, I think. One, we're going to establish the solid border around this layout so that your eye knows exactly where the edges of the layout are, and the layout doesn't feel like it just falls off the page. But it also, of course, serves to soften the whole layout and add some really nice texture here. I used, the ruler I was using was probably a little bit thick for that purpose, but that's okay. Some of the edges I just folded up against the ruler and tore them, and some of them I just freehand tore. And so all of it works out to be really casual and really warm, I think. I love distressed techniques like this and love how this layout has turned out, of course. It's one of my favorite layouts from this collection. So I hope that if you haven't, for some reason, grabbed the Flower Child collection yet, I'll have links down below for you. And thank you so much for joining me in this process today. I'll see you back here again real soon. Bye-bye.